All right, so we just got some interesting news from one of the staff that was down there. Basically, they're from the state, I believe, or the country, and he was saying like, because we went back and forth about different things about like how logistical the quarantine hotel. You first have to have your vaccination thing. So whatever country you're coming from, you got to have your pamphlet that says I've been vaccinated, or it's I've gotten the test, I've done both doses. You're fully vaccinated. Cool. Then you also have to do the COVID test to prove that you haven't, contracted in whatever time within 3 days of your plane ticket. Most people get it the day before or the day of. So boom, okay, perfect. So you need both of those things even to just fly. Like most countries will need one or the other, maybe even both of them. So you need both of those. Cool. So if you do the math on that, right? If you need the vaccination, you need to be fully vaccinated to go to certain countries. Then you need to have the flight restrictions for other countries, like the 72-hour thing. Then why do they need to retest you again for when you come into the country? And even besides that, let's even say they test you and then you come back negative. Okay. So if you come back negative, then why do you need to stay in a hotel then? So he made a really valid point, and I want just put it out there. This dude was being 120% honest. He's like, think about it. It's for the hotel to survive, because who's booking at, let's say, the Best Western Plus in Norway? Who? The foreigners aren't really going there because you got places to go, you got people to do. You're gonna be in the city or whatever, right? You're not really probably gonna stay in a hotel like that. Uh, the locals definitely wouldn't be caught dead here. So who's booking hotels at this point? And that's a industry that's dying, so they need to put money into it. How do you put money into it? Force foreign people to stay there. Literally just force them to stay there. Because if it really was a safety issue, as a safety precaution, there's two easy solutions for that. I don't just make up problems, I make up solutions. So one would be the government subsidizes the entire cost of the hotel stay. I'd have no issue with that. If you say, hey, you got to stay in a hotel for 3, 5, 10 days, whatever, cool. But the government covers the entire fee, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to have an uproar about that. Okay, cool. You care about safety. Or alternatively, they could say, okay, you can stay at, somebody who has a nice, safe accommodation for you to stay in quarantine. Cool. You stay with them. And we just can, there's so many ways you can verify that you can stay there. But even if, and that's if they really were serious about it, there's so many ways you can verify if you're actually there or not. They have apps, they have all types of stuff. So it's not like they couldn't do that. Let me sip some tea. So we confirmed it's not really a safety issue. It's just a cash grab. But that's just perfect confirmation from this random government person, employee, that just said like, yeah, it makes sense to fuel an industry that is really dying. Like no one's staying at hotels these days. And even me as a future EU resident, I wouldn't stay at a hotel either. I would just be at my girls. So it's no reason why I would ever need to book a hotel unless we were traveling somewhere, and we probably book at Airbnbs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really a profitable industry anyway. Just in the pandemic times, maybe 5, 10 years in the future when this is completely done with and it's a thing of the past, possibly. But right now, in a given state of time, people aren't traveling as much, which means people aren't gonna be in hotels as much. So, and then locals definitely wouldn't be here anyway. So they really don't have much money coming in. So the government has to subsidize that somehow. And where are they going to get this money from? They're not just going to say, "Oh, we're going to pull money from our actual funds." No, they're going to take foreign money. They're going to take new money. So, nah, it makes perfect sense of why they're doing what they're doing. I just needed to know a reasonable explanation, because I mean, every time I get the runaround about it, like, "Oh, well, we don't know why we're doing this." No, you know why you're doing this. It's a damn cash grab, and it's an obvious cash grab. It's not for safety. It's not for a stability of your country. It's not to keep the numbers low. No, it's 100% just to make profits. And if you were transparent about that, then I'd be alright with it. I'm like, all right, cool. You want me to stay in a hotel to make money? Cool. Just keep it off. Keep it 100. Because a lot then you can make it even easier to say, okay, well we can just pay I'll just pay the whatever the fee is, and then we could just go. Then I can go by my business. That's why it makes way more sense to be transparent about stuff like that. Okay, certain people would just pay the $200 up front. Okay, I don't have to stay in a hotel now. I can just go wherever. You see what I'm saying? You just keep it 100. Just keep it 100. It's not for safety. It's not at all. It's no 0% safety in this. So I just need to get my little rant out because it didn't make any sense to me. And I'm glad that he kept it 100, kept it a buck with me and said, hey, no, nah, it's really just the field industry. Because I mean, I knew it. I personally knew it. So I'm like, wait a second. I'm fully vaccinated. I got my COVID test. So I'm like, what more do you want? What more could the country want? And then they even re-verified that. So even when I got to Norway, they gave me their own COVID test, and it came back negative. So at that point right there, you would be like, okay, he's not BSing us. He's negative. Like you did the rapid test right there and confirmed I was negative. So unless I got it from the plane ride to there, because you had that to get on the plane, you have to have it. To get off the plane, I got it. Unless I contracted in that short amount of time, what would I possibly need to stay in a hotel for? Somebody in the comments, make that make sense. You really can. I know you can. It's and even the 3-day, 5-day thing, cool. But you should be able to stay with somebody else. You should be able to stay wherever you want to stay. I mean, you're not affecting anybody regardless of where you stay at. You know what I mean? It ain't like you're not good people. See, I feel like rules and laws like that make sense for people like Logan Paul or people that are going to be doing random stuff. But if you're a regular everyday person that's not doing crazy stuff, it shouldn't affect you. Most places you got to wear a mask anyway, right? I'm like, unless you're in a small city like Trump, so you're gonna have to wear a mask anyway. So what's the big deal of you being like that anyway? You go to a restaurant, wearing a mask. You go to a theme park, you gotta wear a mask. So that negates the fact that you spread it anyway. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more ludicrous it sounds to just have this whole facade of, well, we care about safety, when really it's just like, no, you care about money. So keep it a buck with us and just let us pay the money, and then we can just go do the thing. I'd gladly pay the 200 just so I could have 3 extra days. This is 3 days of my life that I'm just not gonna get back. I mean, I could, obviously I'm gonna do editing, I'm gonna do videos and do stuff like that. But it's like, why would I want to waste 3 days here? And I mean, like it's very much, if you're from the States, it's very much a college dorm. It's not the worst. I'm not saying it's like like it's a slave imprisonment or a prison or anything. But I mean, for the amount of money you're paying, I mean, I'm expecting like at least some decent accommodations and stuff like that. So, but that tea was hitting low key. I said I wanted the tea extra sweet. He was like, I got you. I mean, after a couple hours, I'm gonna have to go. After an hour, I'm gonna have to go get another tea. But yeah, let me hop on the editing tip. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe. Just want to give my thoughts. Peace.